Well, good morning, students. Obviously, I'm not here today, but I wanted to make a video for you regarding Lesson 16. This is my friend Billy, and Billy is here to make sure that we do things correctly and that you can follow along with Billy. Billy and I have gone many years together, and he has been one of my favorite people over the many years I've been alive. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Lesson 16. Okay, there's a couple different things here that we're going to learn today. We're going to learn about the United States customary system. And you know that. It's just a fabulous word for saying feet, inches, miles, ounces, gallons, etc. And we're going to learn about what is called a function table. Now, a function table is actually pretty easy. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about some things. In some of your notes, and I've had Miss King hand those out to you, you have some what is called conversions. So in one of them, 12 inches equals 1 foot. I think there's another one in there that says, let's say 3 feet equal 1 yard. I think you'll notice that 4 quarts equal 1 gallon, etc. And what I've done with Miss King is I've had her print those out for you, and so you can use them for your assignment, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and get into the problems here. Billy says that's the best way to do it. And so let's go ahead and talk about example 1. And I'm going to write these out as I go, and we're going to talk about them. And if you have any questions, you can always, text me Sunday. First and foremost, I have a truck, and you all know it. It's a blue truck. Let's say the truck is called a 1/4 ton, okay? Okay, now, one thing in your notes, a 1/4 ton, okay? This means that I can put in my truck bed 1/4 of a ton. Now, what is a ton? Well, 1/4, a ton is 2,000 pounds. And that's the abbreviation for pounds. If you put that like that, that's okay. So 1/4 of 2,000 pounds. Remember, we talked about this the other day. 1/4 of means times. So 1/4 of 2,000 pounds is, if you go over here, you got 1/4 of 2,000. And that becomes, and do the math correctly, 500. So my truck can only carry 500 pounds in its bed. Now, can you carry a little bit more? Absolutely, but by rule, it can only carry 1/4 of a ton, which is 500 pounds. Okay? Now, a lot of people love this, okay? In football, okay? Everything is in yards, okay? Now, let's say I threw, okay, for 300 yards in a game. Now, I don't care how, I'm not caring about the statistics here. I just need to know I threw 300 yards in a game. That means that I completed all these receptions to a receiver, and total was 300 yards. Okay, so how many feet is that? Now, okay, well, I know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. Now, notice, a yard is greater than a foot, okay? So the smaller the measurement, the higher the number. The smaller the measurement, the larger the number, okay? So I'm going to have a lot more than 300 yards here because, so I have 300 yards here when I know that 1 yard equals 3 feet. So if I just plug this in and say, I threw the ball for 300 yards, well, how many feet is that? Well, I'm just going to take this and multiply it by 300. We did this with equivalent fractions. I'm going to do this by 300. So I get 900 feet. So I threw the ball in this game 900 feet, and FT is the abbreviation there. Okay? Pikes Peak. Okay, let's take, for example, and I'm going to abbreviate here and estimate. Let's say Pikes Peak is, let's say 14,000 feet. Okay? Let's say it's 14,000 feet. And it's an approximation, so I don't know exactly. It's 14,000 plus. But anyway, let's just say it's 14,000 feet. How many inches is that? Oh, boy. So I know that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So remember, so we know inches is smaller than a foot. So inches is, and so if this is inches smaller than a foot, this number is going to be greater. So if I know that 12 inches equals 1 foot, I want to know how many 14,000 feet are in 12 inches. So I'm going to take this, so I'm going to multiply this by 14,000. So I got to multiply this by 14,000. And so I'm going to go over here to the side and do 14,000 times 12. So I get 0, 0, 0, 8, 2, 0, 0, 0, 4, 1. 0, 0, 0, 8, 6, 1. 1,680 inches. Okay? That's how we're doing conversions here. And that's the U.S. customary type of thing. Okay? Now, another thing that you haven't seen yet, and you've learned this in science, is a thermometer. Okay? Okay, I'm just going to draw a single vertical line. Okay? And I'm just going to make some things here. I'm going to imagine this to be Fahrenheit. All right, and Fahrenheit is what we use in America. Okay, and we all know at 32 degrees, water freezes. Okay, we also know that at about me, I like it a little colder, but you guys don't like it as cold. A 70 degrees is about where our classroom temperature is, or so class temp. Okay? So that's about 70 degrees. And right above it, 98.6, that's supposed to be our body temperature. Okay? As you can see, we're starting here. Let's just say that we'll call that 0. So we are at 32, water freezes. 70 is our classroom temperature. I like it a little colder. You guys do not. And then we have 98.6 is our body temperature. And then remember, you cannot come into school now if you have your temperature over 100.4 degrees. That's the COVID issue. So if it's 104 degrees, and that's a degree symbol, if that's over 104, you cannot come in. And we know that water boils at exactly 212 degrees. So these are all U.S. custom types of measurement. This is just with temperature. So let's imagine this, okay? Using this, and I'll hold on to that in 1 second. And I want you to, and I do want you to make that, okay? I hope you followed me on that. Let's imagine, what is the difference between water boiling and our body temperature? Okay, so water boiling is 212 degrees. All right, body temperature is 98.6. Now, all right, I'm going to make this a little easier on us, and I'm going to do some different low work. I'm going to say it's 212. Just to make it easier on us, I'm going to subtract 99. I'm going to round this to a 99 and make that where it's a whole number, okay? So let's say your water temperature or water boils at 212, body temperature is approximately 98. So I'm going to subtract those two. So that becomes a 3. That becomes a 1 and 100. So the difference, remember, difference is subtraction. The difference is 113 degrees, okay? Let's do another one with that. Let's take the difference of water boiling and freezing. Okay? We know that water boils at 212 and freezes at 32. Okay? That was from the notes that we just saw. So if you subtract those, you get 180 degrees. That is the difference there. This is a symbol for degrees. Okay? Now, moving on. Billy wants to make some lemonade, right? Okay? Billy loves lemonade. Okay? And he goes out and buys one of those country time little things, and it says that, the scoops. You know what that is. The scoops in there. Okay, say for example, one scoop would equal, let's just say, 1 cup. Okay? Now, Billy here wants to make a half of a gallon of lemonade. He wants to make 1/2 of a gallon of lemonade. All right, so I am going to show you somewhat of a little trick, and it's kind of different. I witnessed this today, and you can always use the conversions, but someone taught me this today. Okay, imagine this is a gallon, G. Okay? A gallon is made up of 4 quarts. Okay? Now, a quart is made up of 2 pints. So I just saw, okay, so you have a gallon, you have 4 quarts, and each quart is made up of 2 pints, and with each pint, there's 2 cups. Now, I didn't make this big enough, but you can say CC, CC, these are cups. C, 2 cups. Okay, and I'm sorry I didn't make the P big enough, but you get the idea. Okay, so a half a gallon is right here. Okay, let's just say this half a gallon. So how many cups does he, so 1 scoop equals 1 cup. So how many cups does he need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he needs 8 cups, which is the same as 8 scoops. Okay? Now, you can use this diagram as a cheat sheet, which I think is very good because this is the first time I saw it today looking at it. And if you write this out, this is the easiest way of all the things I've ever done with conversion with cups to gallons, etc., and the things that we use in the kitchen. This is the easiest I've ever seen. So if you write this down, this will help you tremendously. So let's say here that, okay, I need, so how many pints equal 6 cups? Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups, and that would be 1, 2, 3 pints. So 3 pints equals 6 cups. And that's the easiest way to doing it. Now, I did not, oh my gosh, you didn't see that. I apologize. So pints to cups, Billy's even got covered there. And Billy's sitting there going, why are you covering me up? Well, Billy's got upset, So pints to cups, pints, how many pints are in cups? So there are 3 pints in 6 cups. Okay, I'm going to use this diagram. Okay, please excuse me and Billy because that happens sometimes. Okay. Now, functions. Got one more thing. These are easy. Functions. Okay? Let's talk about the easiest of all functions, and that is, okay, let's do this. 12 inches equals 1 foot. Okay? I abbreviated there. So, let's let this be feet and let this be inches. So if 1 foot, that is 12 inches, 2 feet, 24, 3 feet, 36, 4 feet, 48. And you can abbreviate that. This is a function table. That's all it is. Okay? That's a function table. So if we decide to say, let's do another one. Okay, let's say that, this is a good one. 1 week equals 7 days. So let's make a function table. Okay, weeks, days. 1 week, 7 days. 2 weeks, 14 days. 3 weeks, 21 days. So all I'm doing is multiplying by that. 4 weeks, 28. 5 weeks would be 35. That is a function table. And that's all you have to do. So, for Monday, you need to do 1 through 30 on lesson 16. Okay. I should be back into town Sunday. If you have any questions, you can always text me. Otherwise, Billy is always around. Billy will be floating around at the Houck house for the rest of the weekend, making sure that Claire and Mrs. Houck are safe. So, without further ado, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Monday. God's blessings.